Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video. This is 29th video in the Getting Started with the Machine Learning playlist, and in this video you are going to learn the standardization. So this is also a type of feature scaling mechanism which you are going to learn. In the last video we have covered the normalization, in which I have given you a glimpse of what really the feature scaling is. So the feature scaling basically squashes the values into a certain dimension where you reduce the magnitudes or the variation in the data set. So standardization is another type of feature scaling mechanism. So today I'll explain you first what really the standardization methodology is, and then we are going to apply the standardization using the sklearn. So let us get started. So far now, whatever we try to do, if we use the central limit theorem, which is one of the methodologies in the statistic that give us all of the distributions in the Gaussian distribution form. Okay, so this is Gaussian normal distribution. This is also known as the bell curve distribution. Alright, so all of the data, whenever we are expected to work with the ML, we usually we want it in a normally distributed manner. So just like this bell curve. Okay, so this graph I actually made using the Seaborn library. Anyways, so the concept starts that, so instead of using the Gaussian scale, we can use standardized data with fixating the mean and the standard deviation. So this is an example that I've taken which has weights of the people where the mean of the weight is 70. So let's say there are a lot of people ranging from, let's say, 40 to 100, that is the weight of the people, and 70 is the mean of the people. All right, that is the mean with the standard deviation of 10. Okay, so the standard deviation is 10. So the meaning of the standardization is that we are going to scale down everything where the mean is going to become 0 and the standard deviation is going to become 1. Alright, so instead of using the Gaussian scale, we use the standardized scale. Alright, so this is done by using the standard normal distribution, and this is done using the Z statistic. Okay, so I have a series of statistics. I'll also put that video in the description box where you can learn about this thing more. But here today I'll give you a little bit of idea about what the standardization is. So this is completely statistical tutorial. Alright, so this is related to statistics, so please do try to learn that. So the formula for Z statistics is given by Z score. So this is known as Z score. Okay, Z score, Z score, whatever you may call it. So Z is equal to X minus mu. So mu states the mean of the distribution. Okay, so the mean over here is 70 that we have with the standard deviation. So standard deviation is 10. Alright, so if you don't have the standard deviation, then we move on to the T statistics. That is a completely different thing associated with the statistic, but we are sticking to the method of the standardization where we do have the standard deviation and we have the mean. Alright, and then we can convert not just standard norm, like not just Gaussian distribution, but any other distribution. Okay, if you have, let's say, chi-square distribution, or let's say students t table distribution, or any other distribution, all right, exponential distribution, or any, using the Z score you can convert it into a standard normal distribution. So in the standard normal distribution, the mean is always 0 and the standard deviation is 1. So the scale that you see over here, which was earlier 40 to 100 ranging with the 70 of mean, has been converted to mean of the 0 with standard deviation 1 with 3 points to the right, 3 points to the left. Okay, because we have 3 points to the right of the 70, 3 points to the left of the 70. Alright, similar is the case. So the standard distribution is actually going to convert the entire thing, and the way we can use it is find a distribution. So let's say we have an example where find the distribution of the person whose weight is less than 60. Okay, so we want to find the proportion, not distribution. I would say we want to find the proportion of the people. Okay, people whose weight is less than 60. Okay, so that is what we have to prove. So this can be done using the mu is equal to 70 that we have the mean over here. So it is a population mean. All right, if we have x bar, it is student, it is a sample mean. Okay, so if we have the x bar, we have sample mean. If we have mu, it is the population mean, and standard deviation is 10 because they are distributed by the values of the 10. So we calculate the Z score for it. Okay, so we want to find out the people those are less than 60. So we will replace 60 and we get -1. So this -1 actually indicates this value is then verified with the standard normal distribution table there is a table which gives the z value of -1 as 0.1866. All right, so proportion people are less than 60. Okay, so it will be somewhere around here, which will also say that 15% of the people in our normal distribution are weighing less than 60. All right, that is the way we infer it. And the way we can do it, okay, so just google standard normal distribution table. All right, and here you can go on the Google and find out. All right, let me show you. Okay, so this is the table that we have. Okay, this is standard normal distribution. So this actually gives you the z-scores. And the way I found it, so since I have the -1 as my z value, what I'll do is I'll go over here, I'll zoom it, and as you can see, we have the -1 value, which is this one, 0.15866. Okay, so here we have 0 since we don't have any points. All right, we don't have any points. And for the 1, so -1 gives us this value. So this indicates that 15% of the proportion of my entire data set has the weights less than the 60 kgs. Okay, so this has been derived using the standard normal distribution. Now what it has to do with the ML? Okay, so we can do the feature scaling with a similar manner, okay, where we use the z statistic in order to convert everything. So let us get started with the coding. So I'm going to use the dataset that I have used earlier, which was the breast cancer. All right, from sklearn.datasets import, I'll say load breast cancer. Later on I'll say data is equal to load breast cancer. Then I'll import pandas, so I'll say import pandas as pd. Then I'll say x is equal to, so now I want the data, so I'll say pd dot data frame, where I'm going to give it data dot data, and I'm going to mention my columns, which is going to be data dot feature names. Similarly, I'll give it y, so I'll say y is equal to pd dot series. In that series, I'll say data dot targets. All right, data dot target, and I'll say name, which is let's say going to be let's say target itself. All right, target class, I'll keep t capital, never mind, and we have it. All right, we have our data. Now I'm going to split that data, so I'll say from sklearn dot model selection import train test split. Then I'll say xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest, which is equal to train test split. I have covered each and every single aspect of this in my earlier tutorials. If you don't know, please do go and check that. Okay, size is, I'll say 0.1, which is 10% of my data for testing. So 569 values I have in my data set. That gives me 56.9, which is rounded up to the seal value, that is 57 values for testing. And then I'll say random state, let's say is equal to 100. All right, and now I'll say from sklearn dot neighbors import k nearest classifier, and I'll go with the basic, that is k neighbors classifier, the default values. Okay, so n neighbors is going to be 5, and the metric used will be Minkowski distance. Now I'll say model dot fit, and I'm going to fit it xtrain and ytrain. I'll say xtrain and ytrain. All right, now I'll say model dot score, so I'm interested particularly in the score of the model. Here I'll say ytrain, and I have it, okay, which is 94%, 94.5%. Then similarly I'll say from sklearn, so now I'm interested in some metrics, and I'll import accuracy score, and accuracy score will take two values, which is going to be ytest and ypred. So this ypred can be given over here, so I'll say ypred is equal to model dot predict, and this is going to take my xtest, and then we have it, okay, it says 92%. Now we are going to apply the standardization. So from sklearn dot preprocessing, I'm going to import standard scaler. Okay, I'll make a variable name scaler, and I'll say standard scaler, and later on I'll say I'll take xtrain itself, and I'll say scaler dot fit transform. I'm going to feed it my xtrain. Similarly, I'll go with the xtest. I'll say scalar. Okay, this is very straightforward. I don't think there is much more to explain in this. Okay, these are just the methods that you can come across. All right, and now I'll say model dot. Okay, so I'll just make a new object. All right, never mind. Kneighbors classifier. Then I'll say knn dot fit, which is going to take my so first let me check my xtrain, and I have it. Okay, so all of these values are being converted using the z-score, the z statistic. All right, so now I'll say knn dot fit, which is going to take xtrain and ytrain. All right, and now what I can do is I can say knn dot score and xtrain, and I also have ytrain, and we have it. Okay, we have 97.85%, which is 97.8%. Similarly, I can say scaled ypred. All right, and this is going to say knn dot predict. Let's see if there is some modulation in this one, and later on I can say accuracy score, that is going to take ytest along with the scaled ypred, and we have it. Okay, so this doesn't change quite much. Okay, it did change. Okay, it was 92% and it became 94%. Not bad. Okay, so we had a great accuracy improvement, and this accuracy improvement was done pretty cool. All right, so this notebook will be uploaded in the description box below in the GitHub link. You can have that, and I hope you might have learned something or the other from this tutorial. Okay, there is a statistic tutorial I have made pertaining to the z statistic. Okay, I'll put the link in the description box. You can go and check that, and you can learn more about the z statistic, how it works, and what it really does and everything. Okay, that is purely statistic tutorial, no Python in that or no machine learning. Okay, only statistical point of view. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and share with the people who really require to learn this. All right, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.